Okay. So, as you guys know, Mao Mao is one of my favorite divers. I put another video in the Google Drive for you guys to watch, basically explaining a little bit more about her development. Here she is doing a 1 meter event in 2014, and I just think I like this video a lot because I don't know. I feel like there's a lot to learn here, and she's doing the exact same dives that we do in college. So just watch and see what happens.
得了自己的世界冠军头衔，那也是他参加的第一项世界一类大赛，很高啊，真是很高啊！我们可以看到施廷懋，他虽然起跳很高，但整个人是很有控制的，给人感觉很克制。
The commentator is saying even though her starts are really good and she gets really high, she can still control her dives very well and still get really good lineups, and that's why she's the Olympic champion. She wasn't the Olympic champion at this time, but that's why she became the Olympic champion.
比赛的打分也是略有差别，稍后向您介绍。在第一轮之后，施廷懋61
I kind of want to go back and look at it again.
待会儿非常的轻，整个很高啊，真是很。他虽然起跳很高，但整个人是很有控制的，给人感觉很克制，非常的轻松，动作也很从容。
Basically, the dive is very clean cut. That's what she's saying, because toes are really tight, knees are completely hyperextended in the pike, and she's small in her somersault.
在第一轮之后，施廷懋61.20排在第一，王涵第二57.60，陈俊宏排在第三位，与他刚才那一跳拿到了61.2。下面是施廷懋。施廷懋这一跳2.03，向后翻腾1周半躯体。
Just saying what dive she's doing back on that pike.
控制的还是不错，我们能感觉到施廷懋是很努力的去拔高自己的起跳高度，所以整个人看起来很舒展，动作也比较充分，打开呢也比较果断。在打开之后，为了防止自己拉胯，所以他会有一个明显的停顿和控制的动作。令人关注的中国选手之争还是施廷懋。
I kind of want to go back again and watch it. I loved it. I thought it was great. The knees are bending at the right time. Arms are getting up well. Getting small on that pike, and then spotting hip, really clean. Arms back, and you can see the whole dive is completely tight. Legs are completely tight. Knees are hyperextended. That's kind of why I think she's really good, especially at this event, because everything's so definitive and deliberate when she's doing it. Like, I don't see any wavering, anything unconfident about these dives. 令人关注的中国选手之争还是施廷懋在这一完美优秀阶段。接下来我们看到的是施廷懋。下一个阶段呢就是6.5到8分，这个阶段呢是良好。好的，太高了，施廷懋的这个动作。 So she says it's a really high dive, but I think it was a little skipped out. I think she could have ride the board up higher before going for the somersault, and that could have, got rid of that slight distraction of hipping out. What I'm saying, I like all our board work is really good. Everything is on point, especially the hurdle. Knee out, arms up, slight hollow position, knees bending in front. But right here, you see those hips are moving a little too soon, and she's going to have the board a little too early, but still does a great dive. So I think I would give this an 8 or an 8.5. I'd probably give it an 8.5, but if she wants to get 9, she could have got a better takeoff. But I think the lineup in the dive looks great. The only thing to change is just to get more height in order to get a higher score.
是已经比较接近了3米跳台的位置。3轮之后，这个位置实际上就
I mean, she's saying she's jumping really high, almost to the 3-meter spring platform, almost the same height, but she could have done it if she stayed on the board longer.
石廷茂的这一跳也是很关键啊，难度比较大，105向前翻腾2周半躯体。稍微不够一点点，不过瑕不掩瑜，这是一个不错的动作。保持第一的位置没有任何的疑问，关键就是看他。
She's saying it's a good dive. She's lined up a little bit short, but overall it's a really good dive. I still see her kind of like trying really hard on that start, and it's not entirely smooth. Like I've seen some other people do it. Like right here, I think her arms kind of get up a little bit late, but then she has to lean forward. Comes out and she's a little bit far from the board, but that lineup that she got was really good. Lined up a little bit short.
稍微不够一点点，不过瑕不掩瑜，这是一个不错的动作。保持第一的位置没有任何的疑问，关键就是看。
Yeah, she's saying she'll stay in the lead after this dive.
走板上来看，略微有一点点退板，稍微会影响。
And she's saying, you know, basically the exact same thing that I said. She fell back on the hurdle and that caused her to move her shoulders forward. So she's saying, 一点点退板就是means she is a little bit back on the board, and then she has to lean forward. And you want to be straight up when the board is down. And what I mean by that is, right here, you want to have your feet in front of you and be taller, and then you want to throw all the way through to get the somersault. Here, she's leaning forward, and she's back on the board, and that's causing her to lean out. But great dive.
就是看它的这个分差，走板上来看，略微有一点点退板，稍微会影响一些起跳的高度。
Yeah, she's saying she fell back on the board and it affected her takeoff height.
这是她保留的有效分。60的比赛已经结束了，留给各位队员改变名次的机会是越来越少，这个问题和情况，所以就需要更多的积累。石廷茂，最后一跳，之前跟王涵的分差已经超过了10分。
So she's beating Wang Han, who's in second by 10 points. Yeah, this dive, I don't see a lot wrong with this dive. I do think she could have got higher though. Okay, so looking at, thinking about Tay, when we're looking at this, what I want you to see is notice how she's in this position. Her feet go straight up, meaning they don't go behind her body too much, meaning you know, they don't lag behind her. That's kind of what we were working on towards the end of the season after Big Tens, was getting those knees in front and then keeping them in front the whole start. And you can see they go from here to up. When you did it, they kind of went from back and then around, kind of, and that really affects your somersault, especially with this dive. So you want to get your knees in front, then you got to get them up in front of you aggressively, just like you would on a 302A. And then you see how aggressively she's piking down on that lineup. You know, it's a dive that you got to be working the entire time. It's not going to feel, it should feel like everything's got to be clean cut, especially talking about getting the knees in front, like she's doing right here. Then the core is flexed as hard as possible right here. And then she's popping the feet up as hard as she can. And then the deep pike here and the lineup. You know, I think it could be up to debate whether she went too far out or not on that dive. I think it's a smidge too far out, maybe a hair, but I would give this an 8.5. Maybe I'd probably give this a 9. It's tough. But I mean, this is the basically textbook reverse 1.5, 1.5. Actually, I do see more things I would change. But again, Olympic champion, great dive. You know, that the key part is the start that she's doing very well. That's why her knees are so tight, arms are completely extended, punching over the head in the lineup. I mean, we talk about these stuffs all the time as a team. I mean, you're not doing hard things. You're just doing a simple move that we practice every day and putting them into play with your dives, which can be hard, but it's just working on that mental capacity.